Welcome back to Feaul&Focus, the channel where we take you on a journey through the most iconic cars ever made, both classic and modern. If you're passionate about cars that have shaped automotive history, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a single review. Today, we're stepping back into the early 70s to look at a car that holds a very special place in the hearts of enthusiasts around the world, the 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle. This isn't just another Beetle. It was Volkswagen's attempt to modernize their iconic bug while keeping its charm intact. Let's dive into the details of its exterior, interior performance, and even what one might cost you today if you're lucky enough to find one. The exterior of the 1971 Super Beetle is where you immediately notice the differences compared to the standard Beetle of its time. Volkswagen designed the Super Beetle with a slightly longer front end, and this was to accommodate the new McPherson strut front suspension that gave it not only better handling, but also more luggage space up front, which was always a bit of a limitation in the classic Beetle. The rounded curves are still unmistakably Beetle, but the Super had a slightly more modernized face with a larger, curved windshield that offered better visibility compared to the flat glass of earlier models. Chrome bumpers, rounded fenders, and those signature round headlights keep that lovable personality intact, and the smaller details like chrome hubcaps and trim lines give it a timeless, vintage appeal. When parked next to a regular Beetle, you can tell the Super Beetle is a little larger and slightly more refined, but it still carries that same quirky charm that made the Beetle one of the most successful cars in history. Moving inside, the 1971 Super Beetle made some much-needed improvements to passenger comfort. While still compact, the cabin feels slightly roomier than the standard Beetle, mainly due to that larger windshield and reworked dashboard design. The dash itself is padded, which was a safety upgrade at the time, and it features a more practical layout for the driver. The steering wheel is thin and simple, with that unmistakable VW logo at the center, and the gauges are minimalistic, just what you need, no more, no less. Seating is upright, and though not luxurious by modern standards, they are surprisingly comfortable for city driving and short road trips. The upholstery came in a range of colors and materials, often vinyl, and many surviving models today have that wonderful patina that only comes with age. The rear seats are small, but they can actually fold down, giving you extra cargo room, which was a very thoughtful touch for a car of this size. The simplicity of the interior is part of its charm. It feels analog, direct, and connected, reminding you of an era before screens and complex electronics. Performance is always an interesting topic when it comes to the Beetle. By 1971, Volkswagen equipped the Super Beetle with a 1.6-liter air-cooled, flat-4 engine producing around 60 horsepower. Now, that may not sound like much, but for its time and size, it was plenty to get you around town and even tackle highways. Mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, the Super Beetle was never about outright speed. It was about reliability and character. Top speed was around 80 to 85 miles per hour, and while acceleration was modest, the car had an undeniable fun factor thanks to its rear-engine layout and light steering. The new McPherson strut suspension up front gave the 1971 model a more stable ride compared to the standard Beetle, which often suffered from front-end bounce. Driving the Super Beetle feels different than most cars. It's simple, mechanical, and incredibly engaging. Every gear change, every engine sound, reminds you that this is a car built to last, not to break records. Fuel economy was another strong point. Owners back in the day could get impressive mileage out of their Beetles, often over 25 miles per gallon, which made it affordable not only to buy, but also to run. That affordability was one of the reasons the Beetle became such a cultural icon, especially among young drivers, students, and anyone looking for a cheap, reliable car that still had personality. Now let's talk about price. Back in 1971, the Volkswagen Super Beetle was priced at just under $2,000 in the United States, making it one of the most affordable cars on the market. Today, of course, things are very different. Depending on condition, originality, and whether it has been restored, a 1971 Super Beetle can range anywhere from $8,000 for a project car to well over $20,000 for a fully restored, showroom-quality example. Enthusiasts love these cars because parts are still relatively easy to find, and their mechanical simplicity makes them popular among DIY restorers and collectors alike. For many people, the price is worth it not only because of the history behind the Beetle, but also because it's a car that still turns heads, sparks conversations, and brings smiles wherever it goes. The 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle may not be the fastest, flashiest, or most luxurious car ever made, but represents something far more important. It's a piece of history, a symbol of accessible, reliable transportation, and a car that defined an era. It has that unmistakable design, a fun and simple driving experience, and a legacy that continues to this day. Whether you see it at a car show, in a classic garage, or even still being used on the road, the Super Beetle stands as a reminder of why people fell in love with Volkswagen in the first place. That wraps up our review of the 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most iconic cars ever built, don't forget to subscribe to Feaul&Focus so you never miss out on our classic and modern car reviews. Let me know in the comments, would you take the keys to a Super Beetle today, or do you think this car belongs firmly in the past? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one only here on Feaul&Focus.